Good morning, friends. Today, let us learn about past continuous tense. By the end of this session, we should be able to understand about past continuous and the difference between these two sentences and whether how to use past continuous or simple past. Okay, let us just move on. Let us look at this example. Yesterday, Karen and Joe played tennis. They started at 10 o'clock and finished at 11:30. So at 10:30 they were playing. This is in continuous form. Yesterday they played yesterday. So that is why this is in simple past. This thing has already happened. So yesterday they played tennis, right? But they played between 10 and 11:30. So in between 10 and 11:30 they were playing tennis. So if someone asks what were they doing at 11 o'clock, we can say they were playing tennis because they were in the middle of something. Right. They were in the middle of playing tennis. They had not finished. That's why it is in past continuous tense. What is the general format? I, he, she, it was playing. We, you, they were playing. Okay. I was doing something or he was doing something means I was in the middle of doing something. Okay. The action is not finished yet. This time last year I was living in Hong Kong. That means this living was happening at that time. It started before this time last year, and it continued. Right. What were you doing at 10 o'clock last night? You were doing something. Right. At 10 o'clock is one particular point. So what were you doing? Okay. I waved to Helen, but she was not looking. Okay. I waved is in simple past. She was not looking. This is in past continuous. She was doing something else. She was playing, she was running, whatever. Okay. What is the general structure? I, he, she, it was then ing form of the verb. Doing, watching, playing, running, living, etc. The verb doesn't change. For I, she, he, it, we, you, they, for all of them, ing form only. But was for I, he, she, it, and were for we, you, they. Similarly, negative. I was not running, he was not running, or I was not watching, it was not watching, but we were not watching and they were not watching. Was and were the same, right? When it is a question, then this was comes before I, he, she, it, whatever. Was I doing? Was he doing? Were they running? Etc. Like this is the same structure we used in present continuous also, right? What were you doing at 11:30? Right, 11:30 yesterday. Were you working? Because these are in continuous forms. What did he say? I don't know. I was not listening. I don't know. I was not listening. I was not listening. This is a negative form. It was raining. It's a continuous thing. It was raining probably between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it was raining. So we did not go out. This is happening continuously. This was happening continuously. In 1985, we were living in Canada. This is again in continuous form. We were, we, you, they were, and the continuous form, ing form of the verb. So in present tense, we discuss am is are plus ing. The same thing will become was were plus ing. I am working now. I was working at 10:30 last night. It is not raining. Is also changes to was. It was not raining. What are you doing? What were you doing? Are changes to were. Am and is they change to was only. So the structure will become like this. Let us just revise the structure. I am in present continuous, am plus ing form, right? He is in simple present, present continuous is plus ing form. Similarly, simple past, this is becomes was and was plus ing form, past continuous. We, you, they are in simple present, are plus ing in present continuous, were in simple past, were plus ing in past continuous. Please remember this table. This applies to all the verb forms. Am changes to was, is changes to was, are changes to were. Right? Only in simple present and present continuous we have am and is. Right? Both am and is will convert to was only, and are will convert to were. Okay? This is the structure. Now let us look at this example. I was doing. This was in past continuous. I did is simple past. Past simple. When do we use this versus this? I was doing. That means I was in the middle of an action. This was continuously happening as in the middle of something. We were walking home when I met Dan. Right. I was doing this. Right. While I was walking home probably I took 30 minutes. In those 30 minutes, I met Dan. So in the middle of walking home. So that's why this is in continuous form. Kate was watching TV when we arrived. We arrived is a complete action. Right. We arrived is a point which is there in this complete action which is happening, which is like probably 30 minutes or 50 minutes, whatever. Kate was watching TV. She was watching TV for 1 hour and we arrived. Probably she was watching from 9 to 10 and we arrived at 9:30. So that's why we arrived is in simple past and was watching is past continuous. I did means the action is complete. This isn't past simple means the action is complete. It was not continuous. We walked home after the party last night. Right. The action was complete. Kate watched TV a lot when she was ill last year. This is again the action is complete. Okay. We generally use some action which is completed in the middle of some other action. Then the middle of some other action we use in past continuous. The completed action we use in simple past. Let us look at these examples. Matt phoned while we were having dinner. We were having dinner is a continuous action. In the middle of this, Matt phoned. Right, we were having dinner between so and so time, and in the middle of that, Matt phoned. So that's why Matt phoned is in simple past while we were having dinner. This is in past continuous. It was raining when I got up. And I got up was in the middle of raining. Right, it was raining between this and this, and I got up somewhere in between. So it was raining when I got up. It was raining is in past continuous. I got up is in simple past. I saw you in the park. You were sitting on the grass. He was sitting on the grass for some time. Right, in the middle of that, I saw him. Right, that's why I saw is in simple past. You were sitting is in past continuous. And reading a book. And reading a book is a continuous thing. While he was reading a book between this time and this time, I saw him. So that's why I saw him while he was reading a book. I hurt my back while I was working in the garden. This is a continuous thing. I was working in the garden. In the middle of that, I hurt my back. So I hurt my back is in simple past. I was working in the garden is in past continuous. Whenever something happens in between something else, in that something else, that continuous thing we depict in past continuous, and whatever that completed action, that one point action that we show it in simple past. Okay, I was walking home along the road. I saw Dan, so I stopped and we talked for a while. Right, I was walking along the road. Right, when I saw Dan while I was walking. Saw Dan is in between walking, but I stopped. So this action is stopped. After this action, this one. After this action, this one. Right. So that's why we are using simple past here. Right. I was walking on the road when I saw Dan. I stopped, then we talked. So this action is happening one after another. That's why we are using simple past. When Karen arrived, we were having dinner. What does this mean? We were having dinner. And in between that, Karen arrived. Right. That means this. That means we are having dinner between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and Karen probably arrived at 8:30 p.m. This means that. When Karen arrived, we had dinner. That means after this part, this thing happened. Right? The difference is that when Karen arrived, we had dinner. That means this arrival is not in between something. Karen arrived first and then we had dinner, probably with Karen. Right? All of us had dinner together. So Karen arrived and we had dinner. Right? That answers this question, right? Karen arrived, we were having dinner. That means Karen arrived in between the time when we were having dinner. Whereas in the second case, Karen arrived, we had dinner means Karen arrived, and then we all of us, probably with Karen also, we had dinner. It is not in the middle of something because we are using simple past in both the cases. Here, past continuous and simple past within past continuous. Right? Now, some verbs, though they are continuous, we don't normally use them in continuous forms. For example, know and want. Right? We were good friends. We knew each other well. We don't say we were knowing each other well. These kinds of verbs. No, we don't say we were knowing each other. We say we knew each other well. Right? We were good friends. Though we knew each other for some time, we just say we knew instead of we were knowing. I was enjoying the party, but Chris wanted to go home. But we don't say Chris was wanting to go home. We don't say that. This Please remember these verbs. Know and want. We don't generally use them in continuous forms. We use them in simple past only. That explains us this question. What is the correct form? Correct answer. We were enjoying the party, but Chris wanted to go home because want is one such verb where which we don't use in continuous form. Right. Want and know. Let us look at few more examples. Jimmy was waiting for me when I arrived. This is correct only because I Jenny was waiting and in between that waiting period I arrived. Okay. What at this time? So it should be a continuous verb. What were you doing? Right. What were you doing? Please notice the order of the words. Were you doing? And question word will become before were. What were you doing? Right. You go out last night. No, I was too tired. So this thing is a complete action. So it should be did you go out? Did you go? In simple past, we discussed this structure. Did you go? Right. Did you go last night? Did plus you plus go. Go should be in the regular form, base form. It should not be did you went out last night. We earlier discussed this. Right? Did you go out last night? No, I was too tired because this is not continuous. This action is completed. How fast when the accident happened? The accident happened in between the driving. Right? He was driving and the accident happened in between. So it should be in past continuous and this thing should be in simple past. How fast were you driving when the accident happened? So were you driving? How fast should come before were? Were you driving? Right. And the accident happened. Sam picture while so I was not looking and Sam took a picture in between that. Right. So it should be I was not looking. Sam took a picture. Sam took a picture. Past tense of take is took. So Sam took a picture of me while I was not looking. We were in a very difficult position. We no, we don't use in past continuous forms. We earlier discussed it. So we'll say we use it in simple past. We did not know what to do, so we did nothing. Both are completed. We did not know and we did. Past form of do is did. I haven't seen Alan for ages. When I last see him or last saw him, right? This is the completed action. When I last saw him, he was trying to find a job. He was trying to find a job. This is in past continuous, and in between that, I saw him. Right. This is in past continuous. He was trying to find, and between that, I saw him. So that's why this is in simple past, and this is in past continuous. I along the street when I suddenly okay. Along the street, I was walking. In the middle of my walking, I heard something. Right. This is a single point. In the middle of walking, I heard something behind me. Somebody, again, it should be continuous. Somebody was following me. I was scared and I started to run. I started to run. Right. Start is again a simple point. It is not running. I started to run. Please note the difference. I was walking. This is a continuous thing. While I was walking, I heard something in the middle of walking. So I heard something and somebody was following me. This again continuous. I was scared and in the while somebody was following me, in the middle of that following me, I started to run. Okay. When I was young, again, this is completed. Right. And want also should be in simple past. I wanted to be a pilot. Later, again, this thing is also completed. I changed my mind. Last night, I drop a plate. So this action is completed. So it should be last night I dropped a plate. Right. Dropping a plate doesn't happen for 30 minutes or 10 minutes, right? Dropping a plate is instantaneous. So we say last night I dropped a plate. This cannot be in a continuous tense. Right. When I washing up takes some time, right? That's why this should be continuous. You cannot do a split second washing up, right? Then you are supernatural, right? It will take some time. It takes 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. When I was doing the washing up, that's why this should be continuous. Fortunately, it did not break. Again, breaking doesn't take 30 minutes. Breaking is again instantaneous. Either it breaks or it doesn't break. So it did not break. It should be in simple past. Please note whether the actions they take for longer time or they happen instantaneously. So I dropping a plate is instantaneous. Slow motion dropping doesn't happen. Right. Similarly, breaking also slow motion doesn't happen. So that's why this is in simple past. This is in simple past, and this thing is in present continuous. We can't do split second washing up. Right. Hope you understood this. This is the end of this session. We'll learn about more things in our upcoming sessions. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.